Ladies and gentlemen, back to you with another YouTube video. And tonight, World of Warcraft as usual. We don't stop. I'm a little late right now. It's like 11 o'clock, 11:30. I know, I understand. I apologize. I should have cranked this out earlier. But your boy was doing some things. I was a little busy. Forgive me, alright? Please. Guys, forgive me, please. Senpai, no! Don't smite me. Settle down, alright? Lock it in. I'm locked in right now at 11:30. I'm zooted. I'm not even off caffeine either, alright? I'm getting crazy out here. Listen, full cam it. Pull back for a damn second. You better watch your attitude. You're acting a little spicy lately. I'm on to you, okay? If you guys like hot honey, you like hot honey? Settle down. Maybe I'll give you some, alright? Back it up. Listen, we got veggie chips. Sea salted. Let's try it. Hold on. I know. And listen, why are you always talking about food, Tello? This is not a wow video. You're talking about food. Shut your ass up, alright, poser? And enjoy the sea salts, okay? 8 stamina. 8 spirit. Let's try it. They're alright. Okay. It's not like a good turtle bisque soup. Or maybe a spider sausage for the buff. But they're okay. You already know what we got. The bottle of water from the Paladins Springs. We actually even have an iced tea as well. So a little sip of this. A little chaser. Why are you chasing nothing if there's no alcohol in it? Who knows? Lock it in, alright? That don't count. Shut up. Anywho. Listen. Big news. Really fucking excited, alright? I'm really excited because I saw it already. The Paladin Discord was on fire. We were on fire. Everything is amazing. Life in the Paladin Brotherhood is looking phenomenal. For my brothers and sisters who are all Paladins, it is looking amazing. Upcoming Season of Discovery class tuning incoming on March 5th, weekly reset. About 8 hours ago, this was made. I was talking about it then, but I wasn't able to shoot the video until now. So, Blizzard has announced the upcoming Season Discovery class tuning on the weekly reset. With Phase 2 well underway, we are seeing buffs across the board. Most notable is perhaps the buffs to a few Hunter range spells, which I'm very happy they're showing some love for the Hunter on the range end, because I know, melee Hunters deserve their limelight, and I think it's fine if they were completely broken for a bit, and then I don't want them to completely get nerfed at the same time, because I know they took that 30% nerf to Flanking Strike, and like for both their blades, on the way it works with the damage, but I do hope melee hunters still are in the spectrum of damage, right? But I think range hunters deserve love. That's what a hunter is, ranged, and that's who the class was, truly shining at one point. And in PvP, it's still pretty good, but I think range hunters deserve the same amount of love as a lot of these other range classes. And if you're a range hunter, you should be happy about this, because Chimera Shot and Explosive Shot both saw damage increases. The current balance of range versus melee hunters have been a hot topic in Phase 2, and this marks a step towards bringing range more in line. And that's what I'm basically getting at. Bringing range more in line. Not saying to completely, make them, if anything, the best class in the game. But bring them in line where they're competitive. And they can have a chance to be the best class. And that's how you should treat all classes in general when it comes to balancing. However, Blizzard we're talking about. Small indie company. Back up. You're in my face again. Don't make me hit you. You know what's coming. If I bring out the hammer, you don't want to see it. And I got swords as well. Maybe you don't see it on the wall. Right there. Dual wield swords, okay? Yeah, your boy watches, Demon Slayer, okay? That was a pretty dope arc, entertainment arc. Back it up! Anywho, Healing Mages also saw some adjustments to Mass Regeneration and Chronostatic Preservation in an effort to switch gearing choices away from items with increased damage and healing and towards increased healing for DPS mages. Both Frostfire Bolt and Spellfrost Bolt are getting damage buffs, and this is really nice for Frost-based classes. I would really like to see Frost come back into play in PvE. I think Frost is amazing in PvP, but as in terms of PvE, its damage is slacking towards its other counterparts, and I think now, with maybe these changes, we can see some limelight with that. However, one of the juiciest ones, one of the ones that truly matter, in addition to that, we'll be seeing simple buffs to rune abilities for Paladins. I love hearing that word. Warlocks. I actually like Warlocks a lot. And Warriors. Much respect to the Warriors. And through all the struggle they're going through with this phase. At the end of the day, Warriors, we know the deal with you guys. You shine later on in the game. The more gear you get, the more scaling you will have. However, it is nice to see that they are bringing some attention to Warriors, which they need. But let's see what they've actually done for Warriors is the question. Is it really something good for damaging Warriors or more for the tank end? We'll see. Blizzard As players continue to level to 40 and experience all the Phase 2 has to offer, we closely monitor in-game progress, feedback from the community, and bug reports. With scheduled weekly maintenance next week, we'll make the following adjustments to some classes that are underperforming, and I like to hear that. So this is where we're getting into the, the number end. Chimera Shot, damage increased to 120%, weapon damage was 100, and Chimera Shot. So this is a 20% buff increase. That is a massive ordeal. You don't ever think that that percent doesn't change, because a massive change from like what we had with flanking strike, from a 30% damage reduction on basically nerfing that, was pretty huge for melee hunters. So now for range, having this 120% from 100, 20% buff is a big deal. And I even talk about this as a paladin. When we get a 5% deflection in our talent tree, that 5% parachance means a big fucking deal to reset the weapon swing time to get massive damage, burst damage from a big two-hander, especially if it's slow, right? But yeah, obviously things have changed with Seal of Martyrdom, but that's talking about more of the Seal Command stuff and Divine Storm shit. Just natural with a weapon that's faster than 3.20. However, don't get lost in that. Serpent Sting, damage increased to 48%. Serpent Sting, damage was 40, so that's an 8% increase in damage from that ability. Explosive Shot, base damage done before AP increased by 15%, and carve damage increased to 65%, and weapon damage was 50%, which is a 15% increase. What do you think about this, hunters? Let me know your comments below, and we'll talk about it. Frostfire Bolt. Base damage increased by 50%, and its increased damage from bonus spell damage increased by 16%, identical to the value of Fireball. Really nice stuff. So now, it looks like Frost has a big chance of competing with its fire counterpart. Spellfire Bolt, Frostbolt, base damage was increased by 50%, and its increased bonus, basically spell damage, increased by 14%, identical to the value of Frostbolt. Really nice stuff. Regeneration, Mass Regen, and Chronostatic Preservation Spellfire coefficients increased by 88%. Holy shit. This is to compensate for mage healers wearing primary items which grant damage and healing instead of healing. This is pretty juicy stuff. I like this. And to be honest, I'm digging mage healers right now. I actually enjoy it. I don't know about you guys, but in my runs with guildies, when it comes to Nomer, mage healing off healer with damage attribution is really fucking cool, dude. It reminds me of my friends when they were telling me about some Final Fantasy stuff going on in Final Fantasy 14, where you can basically heal and damage at the same time. I think that is an awesome hybrid of a class, and I'm actually really respecting the shit out of mages right now when it comes to it. Chronostatic Preservation, mana cost decreased by 44%, resolve some tooltip issues with Chronostatic Preservation. Really cool stuff. Mages, let me know in your comments below, what do you think about those changes? Are you happy that they're bringing Frost back into play, and you happy about the healing, things done to this class that is making it a little bit more juicier in the healing realm? So maybe we'll see some really badass healing parts just for mages. However, for the greatest class of all classes in the game, I gotta eat another chip. I'm really excited about this. I don't know how I feel about these, to be honest with you. However, Paladins, lock it in. It's talk time. Big game time. Seal of Martyrdom, damage increased to 50%. Weapon damage per swing was 40. That's a 10% fucking buff, boys. Seal of Martyrdom and Judgment increased to 85%. Weapon damage was 70. 15%. 10 and 15%, and we're not even done talking. Let's talk about this portion first. Do you realize what this means? Do you realize how much more beneficial things we're going to get from Seal of Martyrdom off of fast-handed weapons? I've been saying this, and people in my comments have been saying, oh, I think they're nerfing it still, dude. Oh, Paladins are dead. Paladin, bad class. You never played a Paladin if you think Paladin's a bad class, dude. You never played it. And if you did, you didn't know what you're doing. Alright? This class is working just fine. It's a reason why it's a good tank in the raids. It's a reason why I'm putting good numbers in my guild. Because it's a good class, alright? It's not a bad class. And it's a reason why in PvP it fucking smacks, okay? It's a really good class if you know what you're doing in it. And at the end of the day, any class that's dog shit is not considered dog shit if you know how to play your class. I've said this in my video. Play your fucking class, enjoy it, and don't bitch about it. At the end of the day, you can make it shine if you know how to play it. Now, I'm not saying classes don't fucking get outshined by others. Don't get me wrong. But these kind of things that Blizzard do to make changes to our classes, and we fight through the mud and we fight through the storm, this is what I play for. This is what I live for. And this is some badass shit right here. You know how juicy this stuff is? This is great info. Because now, more two-handed weapons in the future that we get to look after, we get to theory craft, especially in the Paladin Discord, on what weapons, what epics to go after, how what proc on a certain base of a weapon is going to be more juicier for Seal of Martyrdom, in terms of using Art of War with this build, and spamming Exorcism. I mean, dude, I actually really enjoy Exorcism spam. I know a lot of us Paladins want, twisting back. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But at least now, let's read further into this. Let's keep going. We're not done. Seal of Martyrdom, Seal, and Judgment effects now benefit from talents and effects that modify Seal of Righteous, particularly improved Seal of Righteousness, which is 15% increase of obviously the damage if you go deep down in the Holy Tree. This is a big thing towards Shockedin, because if you go deep into the Holy Tree, usually you don't want to go around and improve Seal of the Righteousness. Maybe people avoid that because they just want to play around with Martyrdom. But now, if it's affecting, it benefits from the effects from Martyrdom and Judgment, from Seal of Righteousness, from improved Seal of Righteousness. So that means Martyrdom will get that effect. Is that a 15% effect in damage from Judgment and specking into improved Seal of Righteousness to benefit Martyrdom? Because that's what it sounds like to me from this line right here. From that line right there, dude. Bro, we're in. Paladins, it's time to rise. Our time is now. The gods have blessed us. Blizzard is looking down at us, and they're blessing us with the power of the gods. We are back, boys. We are back. And honestly, we've always been back. Even what people say with logs, we're fucking locked in and we're ready to go. And that's what I love right now. It's fucking exciting. I'm about to bust a settle down. Anywho, Warlocks, let's talk about them. Grimoire of Synergy. Now increased damage done by the Warlock and their pet by 25%. When it's active was only 5%. That's a 20% flat DPS increase. That is insane. This is really nice. This is really nice, and I think Warlocks will appreciate this. Let me know, Locks, in the comments, what other stuff would you like to see? As a previous Warlock player, I actually really enjoy the class, and I really hope, my hope for Warlocks as well, is that we get to see maybe in next phase if they do anything with Affliction. That's always been one of my favorite specs when I played a Warlock, and I'm really curious if they even touch down that route to go down it a little bit further if it's more viable in PvE, rather than it being pretty solid in PvP overall. But we'll see what happens. However, Warlocks, let me know your comments. And for my Warriors, Devastate damage increased to 150% of the weapon DPS was only 100, so you get a flat 50% DPS increase from Devastate, before being increased by number of Sunder armor stacks. So this seems like more down the prot tree. It is a little unfortunate that we don't see anything going on the Warrior end. However, maybe they did notice that, Warrior prot tanking can be more viable within this raid, especially within Nomer. However, we will see what happens as the weeks go on with more reports, since we did see from Nomer we got the 10% physical increase damage to the last two bosses, especially with Menadre and Thermoplug. So that is about it, basically in the news. Overall, though, guys, I'm just super excited. I'm really happy. I couldn't, explain it anymore. This is a great day for an update. I think I love the balances. I love the class changes. I really hope that in the end of this phase and leading into phase 3, just in general, that majority of more classes get some love, and there's always good balancing, and Blizzard stays on top of this. This is what I do like about Blizzard, is that when it comes to talking to the community, at least this part of the Blizzard team that we're working with inside, they're always talking to us. There's always communication. It's never one ear out the other. It's always let's lock it in. Let's talk about what we need to fix and address certain things. I'm sure they're going to be even addressing things from my last video when I was talking about STV event. And there's stuff that they'll fix in the future. I try to keep my hopes at a decent level, and expect failure in the end. I always say this, keep my expectations low and I'll never be disappointed, just like Kratos. However, that's really about it. I'm pretty happy. What do you guys think about the changes? Are you guys souped about this? I'm pretty damn happy. I gotta say, as a paladin, I feel like I'm eating right now. And you know your boy loves to eat for sure. Of course, you know, absolutely. Anywho, that's the end of the video. Much love, amigos. I hope you guys are having a very lovely Friday. Is it Friday? It's Friday. I think it's Friday. Yeah. Settle down, lock it in. Hope you guys have some good nomers this weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep on keeping on. All right. Peace out, amigos. Stay healthy out there. Love you. Peace.
If you wanna dance.